as a man, rather have cancer and die than to end up being any of these men you are seeing on my screen. Wallahi, on God. I woke up this morning, I don't know. The way I woke up, I don't know how to explain it. I was just thinking about what's going on in Nigerian politics. And then I was seeing these whole videos of Kenneth Okonkwo. Wallahi, I'm telling you, God, if any of my children will grow up to end up becoming any of these people that will bring shame to my family name, zero integrity, God, now take them. I don't care. I'll go and start making new babies. Anything that means I will say this today on camera, and then I'll go and say something else on another camera, and then I'll go to another camera and try to deny these other ones. God, I'm telling you, take me. There is no amount of hunger. I will rather clean a white man's nyash in England, at least I'm working, than for me because of hunger. I'll be worse than Peter. I'll be worse than Judas Iscariot. Look at them. Hunger. What kind of hunger? I'm telling you, prostitutes have more integrity than these guys. They are working hard for their money. Look at them. Look at them. Today they will go and say this one here today. On camera. On camera. What kind of hunger? What kind of hunger? Kenneth Okonkwo, look at you. An actor. He was an actor. Very, very good actor. You left it only for you to become a disgrace to yourself. What kind of hunger? Me. I would rather stay in a white man's land and become a slave than for me to end up becoming somebody like Kenneth Okonkwo or Reno Omokri or this Bwala. These guys have zero integrity. Zero. Your parents, your children should, I don't know, do you people not have families? Do they not call you on phone and say, Daddy, what is happening to you? Are you okay? How much? People die every day. How much? You will not take this money to the grave. How much? How much? You go around this Kenneth Okonkwo, you were an actor. You left acting that you were very good at. Look at you. Look at you jumping political prostitutes. Everything you do is on camera. On camera, you use your mouth. Your mouth hold no weight. Today you say this, tomorrow you go and say that on camera. Do you people not go to YouTube and watch yourselves? Are you not ashamed? 1 minute you are citing this, you praise this one, you praise that, you don't get what you want, you jump to the other one, and you start saying the opposite of what you said there. Me? How much? Some people thought they were going to see this year, they didn't see it. The ones that saw this year thinking they will see next year. We're already planning the burial of somebody that's very dear to the Nigerian movie industry. How much? How much? Look at them. Today they will say this one. They'll come and dinner here. Well, how much are you getting for just selling your soul like that? You people are worse than dogs. You are worse than a chicken. If they bring you and a goat, I will choose the goat over you. Goats have more integrity than you. Look at Kenneth Okonkwo. Became a lawyer. Speaking good English. But look at you. A biro a biro has more value than you. Jumping everywhere because of your stomach. You are not ashamed. At least if you want to go and serve somebody, be loyal to the person, let people trust you. You are jumping everywhere. Go back to acting, Kenneth Okonkwo. If I was your father, if I was your son, I will deny. See, I'm telling you, if my father is Kenneth Okonkwo, I will go and change my surname. If my father is Bwala, if my father is Omokri, I will change my surname. Are you people not ashamed? How much? How much? How much? Poor. At least Peter denied Jesus because he was trying to stay alive. It's not like you're trying to stay. I don't know why people are benefiting from lying everywhere. The other one called Fani Kayode or something. All of them, stomach infrastructure, zero integrity, poor. People are not men. All those Sophia budget that are traveling to Monaco because of whatever they do with their body, they have more integrity than you. Poor.
Does anybody take Bwala seriously?
Why not?
Did you not speak in praises for Atiku in the last election? And today, is he not speaking from both sides of his mouth in support of Tinubu? If by any means, any of the other candidates whom he's supposed to win the election, Bwala will run back and plead with them to support and accommodate him. So these are people without principles. You just like taking seriously what somebody like Kenneth Okonkwo says. People have asked me questions about Kenneth Okonkwo, and my only answer to them is that Kenneth Okonkwo is permanently living in bondage. And until he extricates himself from that bondage, nobody should pay attention to him, because he has nothing to offer. They think that being political spokesperson of a candidate means that you have to lie through your teeth for them. No, you must be able to say certain truth. Can Bwala say that he feels secured when he goes to his state? Can Bwala say that students and children in the schools in his state or his community feel secured under a Tinubu administration? Can Bwala say that there is no poverty ravaging his community and the people around him? Can Bwala say that he's not aware that Tinubu does not have enough presence of mind to be able to manage the economic, political, and security situation in the country? Can Bwala say that he's not aware that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed in that constitutional requirement that is required to protect the lives and properties of citizens of this country? So when you bring out characters like Bwala, I think we will be pleading with you to allow us to discuss some more serious people rather than talk about Bwala or talk about Kenneth Okonkwo or talk about Dino Melaye. These are entertainers.
If there's one advice I'm going to give anyone that intends to go into politics, especially in Nigerian politics, is to please have a primary source of income and don't take politics as a full-time job. It is very important you understand this, because the moment you jump into politics and you stop participating in your primary source of income, or you now take it as a full-time job, you're now totally dependent on it. And one thing about politics is that it is like the weather. It changes. There are different seasons. There's the dry season, there's the rainy season. There are different seasons. It also applies in politics. So if you do not plan well, if you do not prepare yourself well, and you just jump into the fray, you will end up like most of these people that you're seeing currently right now. And that is the problem many of them had. Doing well in their other part of life, probably doing well somewhere, and they jumped into politics and they forgot every other thing they were doing and focused on politics. And the moment you focus on politics and leave every other thing, a problem begins to creep in, because when the seasons in politics begin to hit you as a person, you have no fallback. And automatically you have to live, you have to survive. You will not see yourself going back on things you have said, going back on positions you have made, going back on stance you have stood on for so long. And that's exactly what you can see. So I can begin to play tapes of all these individuals, from Reno Omokri to Daniel Bwala to Dele Momodu to the current one that is running mad right now, Kenneth Okonkwo, and you see in contrast their past statements to their current statements, and you begin to ask yourself questions. Why are these people sounding like this? This person said all these horrible things about Tinubu before. Today he's a Tinubu spokesperson. This person said all these horrible things about Atiku before. Today he's an Atiku spokesperson. It is simply because these people failed at the basic, which is securing your primary source of income before jumping into politics. And when you jump into politics, do not become a lifetime politician, forgetting that politics have seasons. There's a season that you'll be shining and there's a season that you'll go into oblivion. And if you do not plan accordingly, you will end up eating up your vomit. And that's what I see with this, because many people have been asking me, Saddam, you're not saying anything about this Kenneth Okonkwo. I said, I don't have anything to say about the man, because you can evidently see that the man is running mad. And not just that he's running mad, it has to do with survival. Because this was once a career actor that we saw on our screens, that we respected so well, doing great movies, and all of a sudden he jumped into politics. He became a lawyer and jumped into politics, and we all know how the law practitioner, the law career in Nigeria is. It's almost a comatose career, right? And he now jumped into full-time politics, but he has bills to pay, he has a life to live, he has children to feed. And he now turned politics to his full-time job. When last did you see Kenneth Okonkwo act a movie? He doesn't act movies anymore.
He has a lifestyle now to live on. He's not used to living in Transcorp Hilton hotels. He has to maintain that lifestyle, and that lifestyle can only be funded by politics, the money that comes from politics. And we are out of the season whereby there's no more donations. I personally, with my group prior to 2023 elections, I know how much he donated to the media aids of the P2B campaign, which he collected also. And that is just from my own side. So I'm not even talking about so many other people that would have seen the great work they were doing then and were supporting them financially. But the season of that election ended, that lifestyle stopped, and you know in P2B's characteristics as a person, he does not give shishi. He believes that if you're working for your own good, you're working for the benefits of the country, which is a discussion for another day, right? And this man has to maintain the lifestyle. And as P2B is not bringing forth the money, there's no gig anywhere, people are already back to their normal lives, there's no donation coming in from anywhere, he has to survive. And yet, in jumps in the money bag article. He has to take it. And that's why you see them. The same thing with Reno Omokri. How did he survive? It was all through politics. He got out of office, no more source of living, he has to survive. The same thing with Bwala, they have to survive. And that's the same to so many politicians you see in the country today. They cannot live off politics. So this is just an advice to upcoming wannabe politicians, young Nigerians are looking at politics as a very viable trade. Please, if you're going into politics, have a primary source of income. And when you get into politics, do not stop feeding your primary source of income. Continue paying attention to it, so that when the dark days come, when the dry seasons come, you do not go back to eating your vomit. You do not go back to saying things like this.
Anybody who is bringing P2B on the table,
You mean 2027 that's coming up?
or in any political permutation, is bringing the new Nigeria, the new thought force, is bringing absolute victory into whatever is done. So you are talking about a political party. We are talking about, when you come to election, you talk about candidates. P2B electrified Labour Party. P2B has no business to lose sleep about whatever is happening in any political party. How many months did he join Labour Party? And he made what he made. People are loyal to his person. The new Nigeria is loyal to his person.
And presumably,
Yes.
he'll take the obedience with him wherever he goes.
That's a hypothetical question. But I'm telling you that obedient, Obi is the Obi in the obedient. So it's only natural that the obedience that was founded based on Obi was certainly follow him to wherever he's going. Won't you follow a man that has never had a scandal? You're searching for a new Nigeria that is bedeviled by people being killed, women degraded, depraved, economy sinking every day. Won't you like a man who, when he was in Anambra State, the security system in Anambra State was so perfect that kidnappers ran away? Know where they ran to? Magode Estate, the home state of the incumbents. The security that P2B discharged away from Anambra State found their safe havens in other places. Anambra State became like a Goshen, where evil will run around it but will not penetrate.
So you see for yourself, right? So you just have to understand what is at play here. So I try not to amplify these guys, but it's important for the young Nigerians and for those that are getting into politics to understand that politics is something that it's a game for these people, right? But the problem is that we are the ones that they're playing with our lives. So you don't get hoodwinked thinking that these people, all that changed is that the lifestyle has to be maintained. And if you cannot offer these people a lifestyle that they have already started, they're already living, they will switch up on you. As I always say to people, know your politicians for yourself, not because of a spokesman or a spokeswoman or because of myself. Go and know P2B for yourself.
Tell us what you do differently. Don't tell us somebody didn't build schools. We are not interested. Somebody didn't build school, but in education came first. But they didn't build schools. So discover that the problem is not the building, but investing in the education. Somebody didn't build school, but in education it came first. You that built school, you came 35. Can you say that you don't even know how to talk? Are you seeing the current political space in Nigeria? In this political year, heralding the election next year. Have you seen the way people are talking? And I want to advise politicians, tone down your rhetorics. Politics is a game, not a boxing ring. Stop throwing insults around. Campaign of calumny. Call this person name, call that person name. If you do that, you have minimal understanding of politics. Because the man that's your opponent now can be your party tomorrow. And you'll be compelled by the party authority to campaign for him. How do you take back the words you have already spoken against him? Calm down. Stop the insults, the name calling, and not what a disgrace it will be that the same you that have said this about this person, you are now coming to say it's our candidate. So calm down. Don't say what you can't take back. Calm down. And don't come out telling us about this person is a thief, this one is a criminal. We are Nigerians. We know the thieves. We know them. Tell us what you are going to do differently. Tell us what is your own plan. Policy-based manifesto, issue-based campaign. Tell us what you will do differently. Don't come and be telling us this person stole. We know them more than you. Even you that is talking and condemning them, we still know you. We know you. Can I surprise you? That somebody is condemning bad government doesn't make him a good person. There are people riding on the wave of the ineptitude of government to gain clout. There are people, after you will finish listening to them, your IQ drops. Because insults and abuses is the lowest level of intelligence. It's the lowest level. Even a motor park man can call somebody a criminal. A tout can call somebody a thief. You are too mentally pedestrian. You are too mentally primitive and loquacious. So all you do is calling people names. What are you going to do differently? Because all those that put us where we are now, they called others names. So we don't want that in 2027. No insults. Tell us what you want to do. Stop throwing insults to cover up your ineptitude. Tell us what you are coming to do. Let's see something different. Don't tell us one person does not have certificate. Do you have? Have you seen your own? That's not the issue. Tell us what you do differently. Don't tell us somebody didn't build schools. We are not interested. Somebody didn't build school, but in education came first. But they didn't build schools. So discover that the problem is not the building, but investing in the education. Somebody didn't build school, but in education it came first. You that built school, you came 35.